welcome to my channel. Today we're getting into a whole bunch of Wayne Goss makeup. Nothing absolutely new or that you haven't seen online before, but I just wanted to combine all of the makeup products that I have into one video to give you guys a demonstration and just walk you through my experience with the products. I also want to incorporate some products from other brands and do the rest of my complexion with you, just because, again, another opportunity for you guys to see makeup in action. I don't like to show makeup just once in a video and that's it. You never hear about it again, although sometimes that happens if I don't like it. But these types of videos are a great way for you guys to see older makeup, newer makeup, all under one roof on one face. So let's get into it. I'll show you which products I'm going to be using from Wayne Goss. So I have two eye palettes, the Luxury Eye Palette in Pearl. This is the newest one. The Pearl palette. I also have Imperial Topaz, and I want to use shades from both today. And for the complexion, these are very new to me, even though they're not new to the brand. I have the blush palette in Vivid Azalea, so this is a blush and highlighter. I have the bronzer contour palette, and this is light gold. This is the lightest one. So we'll be using all that. I also have an eyeliner, Essential Eye Coil pencil. There's just a brown with a little bit of shimmer, and I have his new mascara. So we'll be trying all that, plus some other goodies that I'll talk about along the way. First, I'll do some priming action. Yeah, let's just do the Victoria Beckham, really long name, primer. Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer. I'm gonna use golden this time. It's summertime, I figured why not. I've been using the original mostly, but this is the primer. People say it's like a foundation, that they use it by themselves. I don't really get that. I mean, it does deepen my complexion, but I don't see how it provides coverage. To me, it provides some shimmer, some color, but not coverage color, you know what I mean? Like if you've ever used any self-tanning product, you get a little bit of a tint, right? This is kind of like that, although it's not a permanent tan. It feels really good though. I do like the primers. And then for foundation, I want to use my Future Skin in Alabaster. I haven't used it too much since I just purchased it in the Chantecaille sale, and by the time this video goes up, it'll be probably a month after the sale happens, maybe a little bit longer. I'm using my fingers. I really like how this applies with my hands. The only thing is I have a little bit of trouble in this area, but overall I like how easy it is to apply. I am waiting for Wayne to come out with more complexion. I want to see a foundation. He does so many foundation and concealer videos. I will share a little story about Wayne Goss with you and like why I know about him. He's been on YouTube for so long. I say he's one of the OG makeup artists. And I vividly remember watching one of his tutorials on how to do Marilyn Monroe style makeup. And I remember looking it up. This was when I was back in college, like, I don't know. This had to be like 2007 or 8. And it was Halloween, and maybe actually it was after that. Maybe it was after college. So maybe around 2015, 2014, let's say. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember, when did I do Marilyn? So I was looking at one of his videos on how to like do the eye in particular. Because she has a very specific like eyeliner, and she used like very light eyeshadow. So I wanted to get some help. So this was, you know, many years after YouTube really got big, but I hadn't really gotten into YouTube until a few years later in my later 20s. Really just late to the game. I don't know, I guess I was just too busy to play around on the internet much and really get into the wonders of YouTube. Found his video, and I definitely used it and paused it and like tried to follow along them as best as I could on his tips. But I think I looked him up prior to that, way back in college, and I remember him looking very different. Like, he used to be heavier. He lost a lot of weight. He's healthy now. But I like barely recognized him when I saw him years later, much thinner. But I remember like, oh, I remember this guy. I remember looking him up. Because, you know, you search things on the internet, things come up on YouTube, you see their face, you click on it, whatever. So I remember him, though, vividly with that Marilyn Monroe tutorial. So that's kind of my experience, my first experience really with him. And I remember like foundation videos that he did and like contour videos. He still does a lot of that. Very precise, short videos, very helpful, lots of great tips. So many of us heard of him. We were all really excited about his brushes and now his makeup, and it's just been great. But I want to see some foundation and concealer from him for sure. Alright, so I think we're working mostly with powders today. I would also like to see a face powder from Wayne. Maybe like a setting powder even. I mean, I think he's really known for his like complexion tutorials and like what not to do. So I would really appreciate a setting powder from him. I think it would be nice. I mean, I always look forward to everything that he comes out with. I will say though, like, love doing reviews on his makeup. I know it's like really limiting for a lot of people outside of the US to order from Beautylish, and I know that like, yes, they deliver worldwide, but going through a US based website is different than having a retailer offer his products in your country. It's just a whole different ball game. So I wish he was available at more places, because I know there's complexity in purchasing products through another country and having it delivered to your country. I've heard all about it. So you might be wondering why I'm not exclusively using Wayne Goss's brushes. I honestly only have a very coarse set, mostly eyes, a couple of face brushes, but not like his whole entire sets, and he's come out with so many lately. But I've kind of gravitated towards Sonia G. But I mean, honestly, some of his new brushes look so nice, the artistry ones, and a lot of them have different kinds of shapes, like really pointy. Those scare me a little bit, to be honest, but I'd be open to trying them for sure. I'm going to use the bronzing palette in light gold, and I'm going to start with the contour shade. And I've seen people apply this stuff with a sponge and just kind of get like a real strict line with it. I'm not sure how they do that. Just kind of make it real dramatic. I just fear applying things like that with a sponge. So I'm just gonna go in with my pointed brush into this grayer shade, which is light taupe, and just do some shadowing. It's such a natural color. That's what I love about it. Alright, same brush, going into this bronzer shade, which is Soft Gold Glow. I think some of you will really appreciate this shade of bronzer. I would prefer something a little bit less golden, but it's pretty much almost a perfect golden bronzer to me for my skin tone. You know, I have different preferences, but I think a lot of you with light skin are gonna like it because it's not orange by any means, but it is warm, so you kind of get those orangey vibes. I look really tan, probably overdid it. When I look in the camera versus a mirror, things look very different. So it's a little bit hard to tell what's happening. I'm gonna do a mixture of both powders underneath my chin. Gonna take this down the neck. So I'm gonna blend the two together with a flatter brush, just so we look a little bit more married together. Now I'm going into the blush, which is a little bit scary. I'm using the Wayne Goss number 10 in Shocking, which is that bright pink shade. Just a little tap here. I think I went a little too deep on the tap. Isn't that pretty? I need to blend it out, but I think it's such a pretty color. Same flat brush. Little circles. Big circles. Pigmented. I will say I don't think this blush shade in particular is amateur friendly. I'm pretty amateurish with my makeup, but a nice big blender kind of makes it all work out. I would prefer it to be a little more sheer though, just to make it a little more goof proof. But I think the color of it is great. Alright, onto the highlighter, which is Pearl. Love this shade. It's a champagne-y gold. Really flattering for my skin tone. It's not a weak highlighter, but it's not an outer space color either. Like, it's not a weird pink or a purple. It's in that normal highlighter color range. A little bit of brows. I'm using the Kosas Airbrow in Taupe. I think this color could be better for me. Probably need something a little deeper, because you can kind of see like a powdery shadow with this color in my brow hairs. But it gives a lot of texture. So if you don't want just color, but you want to look like, oh, I have brow hairs, like real brow hairs, it gives you a lot of texture. I think this is meant for people with a little bit more hair, because I need to like build shape and thickness and volume. It's hard to manage with a spoolie. Like, you kind of need, I need a hybrid. I need a gel and a pencil. I do think you have to work kind of quickly because it does set, and then when you want to go back and add in more product, it's like already hard and then it looks funny. Anyways, those are the brows. A little big today. So I mentioned the two palettes. One's very warm, one's a little bit more neutral to cool. I wouldn't, some people are calling this a more of a cooler palette. I don't know about that. I mean, it's more neutral. So let's get into shades. What do I want to use? So I thought I was recording, and I don't know. I'm not gonna take this off my eyes. Alright, so I thought I was recording, and so I did a couple steps of eyeshadows. In the crease, I used this shade number 4 from Imperial Topaz. This very warm satin shade. And then from the Pearl palette, I used shade number 2, which is this light gold, all over the lid. And now I'm going back into Imperial Topaz in this light gold shimmer shade, and I'm going in my inner corner with that one. So that's where we're at. I'm sorry you couldn't watch as I went, but I'm feeling very tan vibes right now. Like, I feel like I could go in the Arizona desert and just blend in to the scenery right now, although I don't want to be there because I'm sure it's like 115 degrees or something. Oh my goodness. Like, they're so easy to blend. It's like insane. It's insane. And I'm gonna go into the Pearl and use the Celestial shade. This is a little bit pink leaning. I don't think I'm gonna get fallout this time. So last time I used this in my like first impressions video, I felt like I had to use the glitter glue with the Celestial shade, and I think it's because I put it on too thick. So I'm going much lighter hand on this, and I'm not getting the fallout so far. Ooh, it's like a nice light pink silver sheen on top of all of that warmth. It's like, it looks like stars. Like, it's just magical. I mean, I have a couple of specks under my eyes, but yeah, I think the trick is to not go heavy and just do light layers with your fingers and you're good to go. But if you want like a super high impact really fast, go ahead and use a glitter glue like I did in my other video, and you'll get a lot more thicker shine. All right, so underneath my eye, I think I'm going to use that same satin terracotta from Imperial Topaz. And before I go into eyeliner, I want to use his little tiny brush to do a powder moment, powder eyeliner. Just something really soft, and then I'll go back over it with the pencil. So if you ever feel like your eyeliner disappears, layering different textures of a liner really helps make it last. So you could do powder like I'm gonna do, and then layer it with like a liquid or a pencil. That really helps. So into Pearl, I'm going into this shade, which is not super dark, but it's deep enough. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a little something. Actually, this isn't dark enough. I'm gonna go into this palette and try this brown and see if that works. Otherwise I might go into black. But this is the Wayne Goss number 8. It's a little eyeliner pencil and it's really good. So we can tell the difference, like just a little bit of darkening along the lash line. It kind of makes your liner optional. This brown could be a little bit more chocolatey, and I think that would probably be a better color, but I don't want to, I could mix this with the black, but I don't want to quite go that deep. So I'm just going to stick with this brown. All right, Precious Opal, which is this gorgeous deep brown, slightest amount of little gold glitters in it, but it's barely noticeable. I'm just going to go over the top. How pretty is that? Now into mascara. All right, so I'm gonna curl my lashes on camera, which I never remember to curl my lashes like ever. I know it can make a good amount of difference. Now the first few times I have tried Wayne Goss's Waterproof Mascara, I haven't been the biggest fan because I felt like it didn't do a lot for my lashes, which are really sparse, kind of like my eyebrows. So here's the wand if you haven't seen it before. The bristles are almost non-existent. They're really short. It's a plastic wand. I have sensitive eyes, so like mascara wands that are hard bother me. They kind of hurt, especially when you're just getting close to the lash line and moving them through your lashes. You do end up touching, you know, your eyelid, like the base of your eyelid, right? So, you know, when you have something hard touching it, it hurts a little bit. I know it sounds silly, but ooh. I also feel like I do get really close to the lashes which is kind of unique and a good thing about this brush. I guess I haven't figured out how to lengthen my lashes with it. I'm going to have to do some cleanup on my lid with a Q-tip. So I got some mascara on there. But this brush, I think you can get really detailed and up in your eye because it's not a huge bristle. So that's kind of one advantage to something like this. Maybe that eyelash curler did make a big difference. You know, I think there is something to say about this mascara. It's not a super clumpy mascara, and that's probably due to the lack of bristle. You can get to your lash line easily. I mean, you still have to kind of play with it a little bit. I would like a little bit more length, but I think it does give a good amount of volume, so I like that about it. Alright, let's get into lips. I have the Luxury Cream Lipstick from Wayne Goss in the shade Lily. I think this is his best selling shade. I don't have a lip liner from him, so I'm just putting it on. That is a gorgeous nude pink color. Now I do have the Hibiscus lip gloss from him, which is very shiny and very minty. Could definitely stop here. Just a little bit on the center of the bottom lip. That smells and feels really good. So this is the final look. What do you guys think? I'm thinking a little bit of finishing powder from Sisley. This is the Blur powder. And I just want to smooth out some pores. Just a little bit. Alright, now final look. What do you guys think? So we used a couple colors from both of the eye palettes, and I'm loving the combination. As I said, it's not like a completely neutral or cool palette, the Pearl one. So I think it blends beautifully with the Imperial Topaz. Like, it's just a seamless transition between both. And I'm just loving these warm, sunsetty, summer tan vibes from the two palettes. And I love the cheeks, the bronzer, the contour. I mean, it just all makes a beautiful, really effortless, easy face. I do think if you are ever experiencing any trouble with these palettes, I would look at your brushes and I would consider picking up some good quality brushes. They can be natural or synthetic. I think Wayne's eye brushes, the like classic shaped ones, are really nice for your eyes, and he has some I think he designed them for people with like hooded lids. Like if you have a hooded lid, I think his eyes work really well. Like I think kind of slightly do. And I don't know, I really like his eye brushes. Sonia G is another brand if you're already ordering from Beautylish. Both those brands are really great brushes. But if you're having any issues like with the blush in particular, or you're just having trouble with really pigmented products, which in general Wayne Goss's products are, I would consider like changing up your brushes and perhaps your technique to kind of diffuse those bright colors and those strong colors. Like you'll notice I use barely any product on the cheek, and this is the result. If I went in with a more, like I would a more sheer blush, I'd be looking very clown-like. So you just want to be careful about pigmented products. But if you want more information, do a little search with Wayne Goss. I mean, he does, like, I think a lot of people agree that his products are really good quality, so just change up their technique and see what you can do different with his stuff. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me and just trying out some Wayne Goss makeup plus a few other things. I can't wait to see what he comes out with next. Let me know what you guys are excited about from Wayne Goss's brand. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.